Hello, everyone. Today we have Alejandro Baez with us and Petty Lee, aka Alex.
That's right. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you guys doing?
Good. We're doing
Very
great.
good, very good one.
Thank
That's
you for
good.
having us.
We're so happy you're here.
Yeah.
So you're both with ReMax, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So we work with ReMax Ultimate, our office down in Toronto,
Okay.
and we have about 3 offices, and we work as a team, husband and wife team.
So how is that going? Like, you know,
It has its moments. It has its moments.
right? Like, do you find that, you know, maybe you have certain strengths that, you know, make the business, you know, run smoothly, or like vice versa, where your weaknesses, like, how is it, you know, together as a couple, you know, help your clients, right? 'Cause I know
Well-
my husband and we're completely different, right?
Yeah.
Well,
But we balance each other out as well.
Well, it does. We actually encounter a situation right now with the clients. Sometimes when you deal with sales, you know, you're dealing with personalities. We're dealing with people, because that's what we do. We help people
Yeah.
buy and sell. And sometimes I see there was a client who was more caring, and she worked very well with her,
Yeah.
and I worked very well with the husband. So it kind of
Balances out.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're still looking for the balance, but sometimes, like, you know, as he was saying, we do see when there's a client that kind of like goes more towards one of us and the other, where we have to learn to back off
yeah.
No,
yeah.
for sure.
Because it's all communication, how you do.
and how they
Right.
feel with you.
Yeah.
100%. And you know what? It's the same in our business too. I find that when we have, you know, couples, like, I'll gravitate more towards, say the wife, you know what I mean? We'll have more in common.
Yeah.
And I find it easier to, you know, talk with her opposed to the husband. The husband's great too, but it's just this certain
It's
connection.
their approach. It's their approach too, though. I think with women, like, they're always looking for a person to listen to.
Yeah.
And then men are more like they understand each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the men just complain about the women and what they want, right?
Right. You blame it on her.
Yeah, they just stick together.
Well, that's pretty much the
But
case.
I'm
in
more
this one.
business, like I'm more detailed numbers and all that.
Yeah.
And I'm more, you know, and I tend to be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
She's a little softer.
Petty brings the TLC
She's
in.
on the back cop. She's a good cop.
Oh, here we go. This is a new episode. So do you guys go together on listings, or is it separately done?
Most of the time we go together.
Yeah.
You go together.
Yeah, and we do our own staging too. So
Oh, so you provide that as,
Yes.
is it part of your service?
yeah,
It is.
Yeah. We have our own furniture, and she does most of the staging.
Yeah.
So we do everything, full service.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not an added expense for the client?
No, it's not.
No, it's all included. We actually do.
Do you want to go maybe run down of what your service actually provides? Because you just sold my home. So, and they did everything. They did the staging, they did everything. They did amazing work. So,
Well, we try to focus mainly on, you know, get the seller to do less, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what happens, you know, selling your house is a lot of work. Number
Yeah.
one, besides the fact that we're intruding in your life. So, you know, now you got people going through your home. They're gonna go see it. We have to stage it. You're very comfortable the way that you were, and now we're decluttering, which is a big deal for sellers mainly. So we try to eliminate all of that. Also, about 90% of your work of your plate. We just got a listing in Toronto where the guy that were helping the parents. The parents went to a home, and they're gonna get rid of everything.
Okay.
So they were working. I was doing an appointment. They were moving stuff in the garage. I told you, just give me the keys and you leave. I'll do everything else.
Yeah, that's what
We got 3
That's
trucks
amazing.
of 1-800 got junk. It cost me $1,700. We included that on there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So next day, garbage was done by within 4 or 5 days we were listed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because I find that people have sentimental, like, they have an emotional attachment
yes.
to their home, right?
yeah.
And when you have somebody coming in, it all comes on, like you said, trusting who you work with and letting them do their job, right? Because people can get offended when you come in there and say, you need to take that picture down?
Well, we had that incident exactly.
We had a big issue.
So how do you approach something like that without being
compromised.
Is that
We had to compromise.
okay?
We have to negotiate.
But I think it's also easier if you get someone else to come in and declutter, because
For you. But a lot of people were offended because they didn't think that they needed it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean,
for sure.
But I mean, when they're there, they won't want, they don't want to let go of anything either.
That was a big thing.
Yeah.
People get attached to stuff.
Yeah.
My mom loves her knickknacks.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you go to weddings and they give you those favors.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh, she's a collector?
Like, please, just get rid of it.
I walked past that.
And it's like, they're literally covered in dust.
How many candles does she have?
Yeah. And it's like a shrine of stuff. And I'm like, so even when my mom was selling her home, this was years back, I was like, she's like, don't touch my things, And when a realtor came in, she got offended. She's like, they're not buying my stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What don't they like? They can see.
We should quote that. They're not buying my stuff. We get that all the time.
Yeah. And it's that old school mentality of, Mom, just get rid of this. Just listen to what the realtor says because they know their stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want top dollar? We all want top dollar for our house. But what are the steps that you have to do to get the end result that you want to have?
Right.
One of the things that we always tell the client is that we're selling space.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get rid of all your knickknacks and all those little, for some reason people like to shove things in their corners, right?
Yeah.
So when we tell them when you start removing that, you're gonna see the space, and that's what the buyers are gonna see.
Yeah.
And that's what we're selling.
Because we also work with buyers, right?
Yeah.
We do about half buyers, half sellers. So we're walking around with buyers. We know what they want.
Right. So
We know what they look for.
on both ends of what a buyer wants and what a seller wants.
That's right. Yeah. So by the time we come into a home, I know exactly what they're gonna look at. I mean, sometimes they don't see everything, but most of the time it works.
So what are the steps that you guys take on a new buyer? So it would be, have you been pre-approved? Obviously, that's an important one, right?
I think that's number one.
Yeah.
Which is number one. It should be number one.
Yeah.
It may not be all the case for a lot of people, but obviously we're always like, you better get pre-approved.
Yeah.
That's something that we always ask because we don't want to be looking with just look-a-lease, people that just want to look and they want to browse and then fall in love with something that they are out of touch with.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that more realtors are coming on board with that,
Yeah.
that, getting the pre-approval because obviously it helps you guys and helps us, right? We know exactly what they're able to afford and then we can move, and look for something that they can afford.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think number one is pre-approval. I think, once we find out where the client is at, they normally start by browsing online.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
And they want to go see homes, and then they talk to a realtor, then a mortgage broker. So sometimes it should be the other way around. You talk to the broker first get the money, and then go
See, I'm
out.
glad you said that
Yeah.
Get the
because
house.
Not a lot of people think like that.
not a lot of
Yeah.
people think like that. And I had this discussion with the girls, and I said, how is it that, they should be seeing us first
Yeah.
before they go and see, connect with a real estate agent. It's just so backwards.
It's
Yeah.
interesting how I've never, even when we looked, we were advised too to go talk to a mortgage broker.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was a mortgage agent.
Okay,
Right. We didn't know about mortgage broker, and that's actually another thing that we were very naive about as well. So we could talk about that later on.
Yeah.
But and to basically know what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm glad, but one thing that Alex brought up too to me was that a lot of mortgage brokers don't want to do pre-approvals.
That's a big problem.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Really?
Yeah.
100%. And
So I guess you guys do with that face.
We always
No,
do pre-approvals.
we like
we actually
pre-approvals.
do full pre-approvals.
Yeah.
So we actually pull the client's credit
Yeah.
because we don't want to have any surprises
Down the
that
road.
come to us when they actually have an accepted offer on a home. So we can't just go by not looking at documents. It's like it drives me crazy when you see these advertisements on TV get pre-approved in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
How? all you're doing is answering questions online. Nobody's looking at documents. Nobody is looking at your credit bureau. How can you determine based on, because I'm going to tell you something. There has been many times where a lot of clients don't even know their income. Or they don't even, I'm like, how much do you make? They're like, I don't know. I just get deposited in my account and I pay my bills.
Interesting.
Right?
I would like to know that.
Or they round up.
Or they're round up. Where it's not even close to,
Yeah,
to what,
they round up.
So if they're business for self, they're like, oh yeah, I made $100,000.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, we're going to use $100,000.
And then we look.
And then we actually look at their documents and it's like 12,000. We're like, oh my gosh, you know? So when we do pre-approvals here, we are actually verifying the income. I want to see everything up front.
Yeah.
The girls want to see everything up front. This is what we've been taught right from the beginning, right? And we actually want to review your credit. So, because a lot of the times they're not even aware of what's reporting.
Yeah.
They'll go on to, I checked out Credit Karma, or my bank will send me, this is my credit score.
So my question is that what is different with you guys and Credit Karma?
So Credit Karma, it doesn't report everything that is on an Equifax report.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So we even have TransUnion.
Oh,
So
okay.
there will be stuff that's reporting on TransUnion that is not reporting on Equifax or vice versa, right? So they check both. So at least
We've even saved a couple of clients and stuff that, they've actually paid for or is not theirs or if they've resolved already.
Yeah,
and we're like, well, it's still showing up on your, Equifax report or your TransUnion report.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, well, then they take care of it and then it's cleared up. So a lot of times it's not just bad, it's good too, right? Because it helps you clear up your credit and find out, exactly what is going on.
No, for sure. They're like, oh my God, that was my mother's loan from 1992. Why is
they
it
didn't
still
know.
reporting?
But they have the same name or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's always situations that
Oh no,
sometimes we
for
come
sure. And the
across.
name thing is good because we had clients where the brothers had almost very similar names and it was off by just like one letter. And a lot of his brothers' negative stuff was reporting on his credit
That's not
bureau. And he's like, this isn't mine, this is my brother's. I'm like, okay, well, you need to take care of this because it's actually hurting your report. And he was in the process of wanting to buy a home.
Okay.
So if we can, take care of this stuff, it's just going to make your job of finding a home for your client so much easier,
Big time, and especially when you're competing, right?
Especially when you're competing where you're in a position where, you can't put in a condition of financing. Now, I know that the market is slightly shifting.
Yes.
In your opinion, do you think that the days of the bidding wars are now starting to, transition to maybe no more bidding wars? 'Cause I know a lot of buyers are getting really discouraged, of losing all the time.
Well, I think the market is changing, but I think the demand for homes still there.
Yeah.
Just like before they were bidding at this price, now they're over here. Like we got, I think we sold about, in the last few weeks, we sold about 3 homes. They all went with multiple offers. Now you're getting 1 or 2 offers. Okay, maybe you're getting asking or a little bit over asking. In January, we're getting 22 offers.
Right.
At the end of the day, you only need 1 buyer.
Yeah, no, it's true.
But I think it was the same thing happened in 2017. I think the demand on homes is still there. At the end of the day, the GTA is gonna win.
Yeah.
We still have 400,000 immigrants coming in the next 2-3 years. I think 400,000 this year and the other 2 years. So all these people, they're gonna need a place to live.
For sure, it's going to be a huge impact.
And if you're charging 7% interest rate on a mortgage, they're gonna need to bite it no matter what because they gotta live somewhere. So a house is a necessity, like food and water,
Yeah.
right?
No, for sure.
But I do think, to answer your question, is that you're still gonna have bidding wars. Some homes are not going to have the bidding wars, but as much. I mean, the good homes will win for sure. Like
So-
the better homes will sell. Sorry about that.
Right, because I would just like to see once, where the listing price is 1.2 million, and it actually sold under asking. Like, you kind of miss those days.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Well, like actually, right now, that's what you'll
It's
get.
happening, yeah. It's
it's-
happening in
that's what you're
some
getting.
areas, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, like, you know, a lot of people are getting asking,
Yeah.
or just a little below.
So no more 200,000 above asking.
A lot of that is actually within the GTA, though.
Yeah.
So, like, we noticed a big difference outside of the GTA because during the pandemic, the work from home thing actually made that big spike
Yeah.
from, like,
Yeah.
you know, the Hamilton area and the Grimsby, Binbrook, Stony Creek.
Cambridge got really busy too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cambridge is booming.
Yeah.
Cambridge.
Yeah.
Kitchener.
Kitchener,
Like we've been-
Waterloo.
Like we
Yeah.
do business everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're all over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a listing coming in West Side.
Wow.
Saga Beach.
You know,
So has your approach to the market changed, or the way you?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the only difference from a seller being sold and a buyer owning a home is expectations, right?
yeah.
So right now is even before too, on the height of the market, sellers had different expectations. So it didn't matter which number you bring them, they still want more money, right?
Yeah.
And we right now we are trying to work mainly on the seller's expectations, and it's very difficult because 2 months ago their house would have been sold for way more money, and now it's less.
That's the
Right.
problem.
So it's an education process that we do. We don't look at less than 2 weeks right now, 2 to 3 weeks tops when you look at comparables. I mean, at the end of the day, your home is worth as much as somebody's willing to pay for.
No, sure. They always say every house will sell at the right price point, right?
That's right. Yeah.
But that's another thing. Is like, how do you explain to these people that, you know, they live on your same street, they know that, you know, 2 months ago that house that is very similar to yours sold for this price, and now because the market's slightly shifted, now the price, we can't get that match, right?
Yeah. So we do a lot. We provide a lot of information. So we don't decide on the money.
Yeah, yeah.
So we let the clients decide. Like we never tell them you got to take this offer because this is the best offer.
Okay.
We try to educate the seller
Yeah.
into what is a good offer is.
Yeah.
Sometimes your first offer is the greatest.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not. So I have a client who declined 1.3 about a month and a half ago. And
that
guess
was a
what?
good offer.
That was a good
their best.
offer.
A lot of the time, it's like the first offer. is
And
always
now
the
we're
best.
Yeah.
getting the highest offer that we had was $1,070,000.
Yeah.
So that's another thing
So it's
with like the
expectation.
buyer.
Yeah.
The buyer's coming in asking to like shortchange the.
Now the problem is also the buyer's expectations too, because now the buyer's expectations they're not in line because they're
They're thinking it for a steal, not even.
now they think they can get 50% off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
So
sale.
when we only got 20.
Yeah.
The one day sale.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
the sale.
Yeah, so I have a house right now for 1.2. I got offers for 950,
Oh, wow.
and then people offer me, I'll give you $1 million cash.
Yeah. It's just like in our neighborhood too. Like our neighbor has a semi, and she's trying to sell it for 1.3. Well, back in February, that
No
would have been an
problem.
issue.
Yeah.
So,
But then I just saw like a fully detached home, like within a couple blocks away from where we live. Nicely fully renovated, sold for 1.35,
Wow.
and it's like 1,000 square feet bigger.
Wow.
Incredible.
So you see that big change within the past couple of
Yeah.
months.
Yeah, we see houses sitting now. So what
Yeah,
do you
that's
think? So what do you think the problem is there?
well, there's two groups now. That's what I tell my clients. There's the listed group on one February price, and then there is a sold people. The people,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. There is a price where people are listing, and there is a price where people are selling. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So either you want to be sold or you want to be listed. They're two different things. And every time, I have a client who declined me 6 offers so far.
Wow.
I'm trying to replicate the past. And here's what happens. Every time you decline an offer, you got to continue being on the market. So when you sell, it's a lot of work. You got to show the house. You got to have it ready because we stage the homes, but the sellers do the work mostly, which is
Yeah.
getting it ready every day.
Yeah.
So every time you decline an offer, you gotta still be on the market, and it doesn't get better. So normally, as a rule of thumb, on this, a guy who's been in real estate for probably 40 years, he told me this a long time ago. The first offer is normally the best offer.
Yeah.
It never fails.
Yeah.
And he builds like plazas and knows a lot about real estate.
Right.
And it tends to be true. Very few cases we got more after, but
Well, my mom's first offer, she accepted. So
yeah.
now we don't know what the other offer.
Oh,
We're
okay.
assuming that that would be the best offer, right?
Yeah.
And we're just going to go by that.
Yeah.
You
But-
know,
Well, the way that I guess you look at it, was your mom there for a long period of time?
she was over a decade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, so she got more than what her property was worth, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So it worked in her favor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
And a question for you now is how do you guys are managing the interest rates? What do you tell your clients? Fixed
Yeah,
or
because we got to tell
variable?
our clients that too.
What works?
Would you go fixed or variable?
We see a lot of people go variable now. A lot of
Yeah.
people that were stuck on fixed are
Yeah.
now more comfortable with going variable.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people were comfortable with fixed, right? Because you know where your payments are each month. But a lot of people now are going variable.
Yeah. They like the variable because, if the rates do, start to go down, at least if they had to break their mortgage, it's only a 3 months penalty interest, right? Where if you're locking in, for a 5-year term at today's rate, we're looking at mid fours. What if next year the rates drop to 2.99? You know what I mean? Now you have to break this fixed rate. You're going to be incurring a hefty penalty. And it's been. It shows, statistically that in the long run, you will save more money with a variable rate, but it's all on, how the client is comfortable with it.
The comfort level.
Exactly.
Yeah. And would you think it would be a good idea to do, let's say, I don't like variable, for example, and would it be safe to do like a 2-year term on a mortgage and wait on a fixed rate and wait to see what happens in the next 2 years?
Yeah,
If
I
I'm a fixed guy, like I like fixed rates.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But
sometimes the rates are even higher.
I know sometimes the
Yeah.
rate's even higher on a 2-year
two-year
term
fixed, yeah.
opposed to a 5-year term, right?
That's all
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
But it honestly,
You're a number guy.
yeah. Like my husband is like you. He likes to know what his payments are. He
Yeah.
wants
Well,
to.
we're not fixed. He's just saying it. We're not fixed. We're variable.
Well, we're variable, but I mean,
I
it's
mean,
a lot of
for
clients.
people, yeah.
I tried
People,
variable
yeah.
because I was in the mortgage business. I'm like, okay, let's just do a variable. It lasted for 1 year.
Really?
But it was like it's fine.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It comes as a couple. You
Yeah.
both have to be
Comfortable
okay
with
with
it.
it,
Yeah.
right? Because if one is not, then it's just not going to work.
No, because one's going to stress all the time.
Yeah, one's
the
going to
other-
stress all the time.
Yeah, it's a comfort thing, right? It's people like to know, people
Yeah.
like to budget, people like to know exactly what they're paying each
Yeah, a
month.
lot of people are like
Right?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially if you have if you're a fixed income, you have a salary
That's true.
of this. If you're business for self, your payments, your income fluctuates every year.
Yeah.
Those type of people are okay with the variable rate. But if you have someone that working guaranteed 40 hours a week, they know exactly what their pay stub is every week. They don't want to have to worry about whether their mortgage payment is going to go up or down based on the prime rate. So like I said, at the end of the day, it all comes down to what is your clients more comfortable with.
What is their qualifying rate right now?
The qualifying.
qualifying?
So the stress test
Yeah.
is now whatever. So the benchmark rate plus 2%. So if the current rate for a 5-year fixed is say 4.59, we have to qualify them at 6.59.
So it's plus 2.
So you're finding the people that are getting less.
A lot
Less
more
now.
less. Yeah, because as soon as you change that qualifying rate, your purchase price comes way down. And that's another reason why a lot of people have been choosing variable because it's still at 5.25 because
right?
it's the greater of.
The greater of.
Yeah. So variable rates are 3%, say right now. So plus 2% is 5%. so we can still qualify at 5.25.
That's actually a great thing to know.
Right.
And to tell the clients, because I guess you can get a little, if you go variable, but
Yeah.
they're gonna need to go variable in a
Exactly.
market.
I have
Yes.
clients
You
right
can go
now
back.
Yeah.
that are in that position. I'm like, listen, if you do a variable rate, you can actually purchase for, say, like $1,000,001, right? But if you go with a fixed, we got to reduce it to 950. So that makes a huge difference,
Yeah.
especially in today's market.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Well, like that 50 grand could be a different.
in a home,
Of course.
In a home.
right? Yeah, for sure. So that's another conversation that we have with our clients, and let them know that if you decide to do a variable, you could qualify for this much more.
Yeah. It's
So-
also back to educating your client, right?
Yeah.
I think number
At both-
one is a lot of education, because there's
Yeah.
a lot of noise out there.
Yeah, and just informing them, right? And just
Yeah.
breaking it down for them. I mean, some people, they're just scared because they don't know the whole, okay, if you explain how the variable works, then people are more comfortable with it, right? As opposed to somebody who's just stuck on fixed and that just wants to continue going on fixed, right? So it all comes down to information and providing that information to your client, just letting them know exactly how it works, right? And getting them more comfortable with the idea, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's awesome that you guys do pre-approvals. So it's a big deal for us to know exactly,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, like
sometimes one of the issues that we find with mortgage brokers is that they just anyone can get a commitment letter without documents. Is that correct?
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like we could submit to some of our lenders. They just spit back. It's like an automated thing. Here's a certificate.
Yeah.
Nobody's looked at anything.
Yeah.
We just, you can call the client. Okay, how much do you make? 60,000. Okay, we put that in, and we just literally type in whatever the client is saying, and we're not looking at anything.
No qualifications.
And then the
No
bank
verifying.
will provide like a commitment letter.
exactly, because it's just approving it by what we're inputting into the system.
Yeah.
So it looks like, this person qualifies for this amount.
But they're not verifying anything.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
That's
have
risky.
to make
Yeah.
sure it's an actual full pre-approval.
Yeah.
So you check everything.
We check credit, we check income docs. We get everything up front, because what can really damage a whole application if income is incorrect
Yeah.
or if something negative is reporting on the credit bureau. Those two things will kill a deal.
Yeah.
So let's nip those in the bud, make sure that those things are accurate,
Yeah.
and then you're confident enough, your client's confident enough to go in with a strong offer.
Right. And it benefits them because if there's something that needs to be corrected, then
We
they
have
still
time.
have time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for
As
sure.
opposed to, you purchase something and then we got to fix it.
Now you gotta
And then we're on
work
a time
backwards.
crunch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it gives them time to fix anything that needs to be corrected.
I have sold properties to agents where they don't do the homework. And they had to close private many times.
And that's our last solution to clients is doing a private, because nobody wants to be in a private.
Private.
It's
Yeah.
high interest rates, high fees.
That's
Yeah.
the last solution.
But again, it's like you said, educating the client.
Yeah.
And it's good to know that we're all on the same page
Yeah.
Yeah.
of guiding our clients the correct
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, yeah. for
Right?
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes your job a lot easier.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And it runs everything smoother, right?
Oh, yeah,
And it benefits the client in the end, right? And
Well, the thing is that gas prices are high.
That's another episode. I don't even drive to the office anymore.
You can't be driving people around and you're finding that they're not approved, or
Right?
they can only afford like 200,000 less.
Yep.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Well, you must have listened to them when you sold your house, because
Yes.
I remember you saying, I'm listing my house tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it felt like, what was it? Like less than 5 days. I sold my house.
was 6 days on the market and it sold.
And I said,
Yeah.
what? You sold that fast?
Yeah.
So, you must have guided her the right way. You
Yeah.
must have listened, because
Yeah.
it worked,
Yeah.
right?
Well, there's two things we can control. The marketing that we do to sell it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the price we ask.
What your marketing is great, honestly.
Thank you.
It's your marketing is so good.
Well, we do
Thank
the
you.
top.
Yeah.
We don't miss anything.
Well,
Yeah.
we try not to. Right?
Yeah.
Like we just had issues with
so-
finding a cleaner down this way. That's all.
Yeah.
But
So-
you know what though? You can't beat Monica in cleaning. I have to say, you can't beat
The old
Monica.
Portuguese way, right? Yeah.
But you know what? Let's say, for example, because we normally if your house that's not selling today's or any market
Yeah.
is either marketing or price, because we do 100% the marketing or we use the best tools available to promote your home.
Yeah.
We know it's under marketing. So it's the price that we got to deal with if something happens, right?
Yeah.
So, it's the price that we got to deal with,
Yeah.
right? Not the marketing, right? So we narrow it down to what the problem is. So it's really important to communicate that to the sellers. We will never be able to control what a buyers will write down on an offer.
Yeah.
Another thing that we can control is our negotiation skills, because everybody will come in low, we'll bring it up. Seller's happy,
Monica saw that, right?
Yeah.
not happy, we go back.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a little bit back and forth, but
Yeah.
we got
3
it done.
hours
Yeah.
back and forth.
3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, we had 2
We'll find
offers on the table,
Yeah.
and then we went back and forth, and we got it done.
Normally the buyers won't have any more money after we're done.
So lastly, tips for for a buyer, tips for a seller. What would be your number one tip?
Number one tip for a buyer.
Yeah.
Well, first, number one, get pre-approved.
Yeah.
100%. Talk
Did you
to-
hear that?
Yeah.
Pre-approved.
Yeah, 100%.
That's our number one tip.
First, go get the money, then the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Know what you have for money.
So do you guys
Then
have an
call it
online application that you guys could fill out?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a link that we send.
Okay.
And it's pretty cool because they create a password and it's a secure portal, and they literally just answer the questions, and then as soon as they're done, it
notifies.
automatically populates to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
And
pretty
then
cool.
we get like a mortgage broker that contacts them.
Yep.
And then you guys verify all the information.
All the documents, yeah. We
Oh,
pull
yeah.
their credit bureau.
Like we let them know right away.
Okay,
You
so
know?
so what is at that time? Do you guys have like a day or two that you guys can actually give them like their approval or?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we can do it in a day.
If we get all the
Okay.
documents that we need, yeah.
If we get all the documents, most of the time it's just waiting for the client to send us the
Submit the
documents.
documents,
But with
yeah.
this application that we have online, they can actually upload their documents
Okay.
to the portal instantly.
Oh, okay.
So it's there for us to review. We get an email saying that, John Smith has uploaded your documents to review. So we review it. If there's something that we need more, it'll automatically request from the information that they've inputted. So
The good thing about our system, it tells you what documents we need from you.
yeah, automatically.
Automatically.
Like
Automatically.
if you're
Automatically.
missing one,
They'll
So if
know.
I put a
Yeah.
self-employed person,
Yeah,
will tell
they'll
me,
tell
ask
you
me
the
for different.
Yep, they'll tell you
that's
the
cool.
documents that we
Yeah,
need
so
from you.
it's pretty
That's
cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
And then if there
So
is
you
something
know,
more.
yeah, because a lot of times we have to tell them exactly what we want, but with our portal, it tells you exactly what we need from you.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
information that you
Yeah.
put in, it'll tell you exactly what we need from you. So,
That's cool.
yeah.
And we're always there. Like
yeah.
you'll never not be able to get a hold of us,
Yeah.
And which
Communication is key.
is for sure.
For sure,
and that's
100%.
where you have to be, even like for you guys as well, right?
Yeah. You got to be available.
You have to be available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not just 9 to 5.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
What did you
most
say
of the
was it?
deals are done
What is
at
Yeah.
Yeah.
most of the deals are done at 7, 8, even 9. We done deals at 1 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah.
So
oh
I
wow.
think he stayed up until like 1:32 one time.
yeah, 1.
Doing a deal?
Yeah.
Getting it
Yeah.
done?
Yeah, I got it done. We normally get it done.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, this has been great.
Yeah. It's
Oh, that was.
You
yeah.
know?
Thank you for having us.
No,
Yeah,
thank
Thanks
you
for coming
guys.
and joining us.
No
You know,
problem.
it's been an absolute pleasure. If anyone is looking to buy or sell,
That's right.
That's right.
this is a
Work,
yeah.
work.
The duo, the dynamic duo, the good
Yeah.
cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Same thing with parenting, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's good. This is exactly what we want. We want people to be able to be comfortable. Like I said, when they're working with people that we refer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
nothing is more rewarding than having a client that we've referred business to come back and say, thank you. They have been
Yeah.
absolute, pleasure to work with.
Yeah,
They're
for sure.
exactly like you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vice versa too,
Yeah.
right?
You
Yeah.
know,
Because I have lost deals with mortgage brokers.
for sure. And and it goes
one
both
year.
ways.
Yeah, 1 year I lost quite a few.
Yeah. So
So it's we're very careful now.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And then we're trying out other
'Cause
people, and
We try to, but I think the pre-approval process is a big deal.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing that.
yeah,
Wow.
90% of the mortgage brokers don't do it.
yeah.
They give me a story why they don't.
I
But I mean, I don't understand.
don't know. I'm
I think they want the deal in front of them, and yeah. But
no. We 100% do full pre-approvals.
Yeah.
We're all taught right from the top.
I,
When-
I, think,
the right
I think
thing to
some
do.
of them think it's just a waste of time for them. but it's not.
Yeah, well, in
Yeah.
our side, a lot of the real estate agents don't tell what the commission is from the beginning, right? So we tell them right away.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have a client, a friend who last time he called me, just wanted to know the price. What do you think my home is? I said, well, I'll send you the price, I'll send you the commission, the closing costs, I'll send you everything
yeah.
from day one.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of realtors, they hide it till the end. I don't hide it, right?
Yeah.
It's a full
So-
breakdown.
Yeah,
you
people,
saw the
because they're,
breakdown.
you know, they're embarrassed. So they don't want to say the commission because if they tell it, then they're going to tell somebody else and they might lose the deal. It's all that thing. So I think mortgage brokers, they don't want to give it pre-approval because they go with this and they go shop around.
Oh yeah. Do you guys have that issue?
You know, you have to understand with pre-approvals, the rates are always higher. Because there isn't an actual accepted offer in place,
Yeah.
the lender is always going to make the pre-approval interest rate higher than an actual approval rate. But
For the
we
cushion, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
right? So cuz that's valid for 120 days. They don't know what rates are going to be in 120 days from
days,
now. So they put in, you know, a pre-approval rate. Usually it's about 20 basis points higher because once you have an accepted offer, we have lenders who will have a rate special. Or if you close in 30 days, you're going to get this rate. So, but they're not valid on pre-approvals. It's only valid on approval rates. So we always educate our clients, say, listen, don't worry about the rate that you see on the pre-approval. It's not going to be that
Yeah.
rate.
It could be a lower rate.
100%.
Could be,
Most
yeah.
of the time it is lower. But if, for instance, the rates happen to spike, you would still be guaranteed this pre-approval
This
rate.
pre-approval
rate,
rate.
yeah.
So
Right.
it can work both ways.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So I think that's very important.
For sure.
Especially for us.
No, for sure.
Peace of mind, you know. And I think that's, when I started in real estate, all of the realtors, they were teaching me to don't trust the client, and the client is, you know, the client is the liar, and you gotta be aware of the client. And I was thinking, if I don't trust any of my clients, then I'm
It's not
gonna
gonna
trust
work. Yeah.
me. So right now we trust people 100%. You
Yeah.
know, unless you prove me wrong, we're gonna give you 100% of whatever. You know, if you don't want to work with us in the future, no problem. We'll work with somebody else. But we give you everything.
that's
We do
us.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do 100%
Yeah.
of the marketing. Same marketing we'll do for Monica. We'll do for. Yeah, we're doing a full staging in Wasaga Beach.
So it doesn't matter what price point, you treat
Yeah.
everybody the same.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same
And the
marketing.
service is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the best.
For Monica, a little bit.
Well, me and
Well,
Penny
we
have
had
known
to.
each other for over 30 years.
Yeah.
So we went to middle school
childhood
together.
friends, that's why.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so awesome.
Yeah. We went to middle school together.
And elementary
And
high school.
elementary. And yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
No,
guys are
thank you
great.
guys.
You guys educated us a bit too.
You
on
know?
some
That's
things
great.
that we
Well,
didn't know.
thank you for coming and being on our podcast.
Yeah, this is
It's
awesome.
been fun.
Come again.